Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL trade deadline is creeping up fast. It's less than a month away, and for the Green Bay Packers, this is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing periods of the season. We're talking about a team that's sitting in a pretty advantageous position right now, with just 4 games remaining before that crucial deadline on November 4th. And let me tell you, the Packers have a real shot at not only clinching the NFC North title, but also making a serious push towards another Super Bowl appearance. But as always, the big question is, what moves are they going to make to maximize their chances? And more specifically, what does that mean for their roster, their key players, and their overall strategy moving forward? The upcoming schedule gives Green Bay a golden opportunity. They're facing the Bengals, Cardinals, Steelers, and Panthers. 4 teams that, to be honest, are all teams they could beat, and beating them would really boost their standings. If they can take care of business, they could potentially lock up the top seed in the NFC North, which is crucial because home field advantage in the playoffs can be a game changer. But as we all know in the NFL, it's not just about the schedule. It's about making the right moves, especially in the trade market, to ensure that the roster is optimized for a deep playoff run. And here's where things get really interesting, especially for the Packers front office, led by General Manager Brian Gutekunst. The team's roster is loaded with talent, particularly in the wide receiver room, which has become a bit of a crowded house. They've got several receivers capable of making plays, but at the same time, they lack that true, bona fide WR1, a player who commands double teams, stretches the field, and consistently produces at an elite level. During the Jordan Love era, this has been a topic of debate among fans and analysts alike. Some say you don't need an elite WR1 to succeed, that the system, the scheme, and the other playmakers can carry the team. And while that might be true to some extent, the reality is that having 5 or 6 starting caliber receivers, while also having more pressing needs elsewhere on the roster, isn't exactly ideal. It's a luxury perhaps, but one that can become a problem when you're looking to put all your chips on the table for a deep playoff run. So naturally, the question arises, who's most likely to be moved before the deadline? Well, based on the current roster situation, it appears that Dontayvion Wicks could be the most vulnerable. Wicks has shown flashes of promise, and he's been a solid contributor at a relatively low cost, which makes him attractive in trade discussions. But with Jayden Reed and Christian Watson expected to return from injuries soon, the Packers are going to face a tricky situation. Rookie Savion Williams has been gradually integrated into the offense, and Romeo Doubs has become a primary target for Jordan Love over the past 4 weeks. Meanwhile, Matthew Golden has been increasing his involvement on offense, showing that the team is building a versatile and deep receiving core. But with all these talented players, it's inevitable that some will have to be sacrificed or moved to make room and manage the salary cap, which is already starting to pose challenges ahead of the offseason. The Packers have invested heavily in stars like Watson and Doubs, and negotiations for extensions are likely on the horizon. That leaves Wicks in a tricky position, without a clear path to significant playing time once Reed and Watson are fully healthy. As a result, the smart move for Gutekunst and the Packers might be to capitalize on Wicks' current trade value. If they wait until the offseason, his value could plummet, especially if he becomes a smaller role player or even a healthy scratch when the team is fully healthy. And let's be honest, this isn't just about trading away assets for the sake of it. It's about strategic roster management, especially considering the salary cap constraints. The Packers are already dealing with big money deals for key players, which limits their flexibility. For example, after giving an extension to Romeo Doubs, they'll need to manage their resources carefully. Wicks, as a late-round pick who's been a reliable contributor, has a decent trade value right now, and moving him could net draft capital that's much needed as they look to build for the future. Now, some fans might feel hesitant about trading away a young player like Wicks, especially one who has shown flashes of potential. But the truth is, what differentiates the truly great teams from the good ones is the ability to know when to part ways with players who no longer fit the long-term plan. Wicks offers versatility, sure, but he doesn't quite have the upside to be a must-keep for the Packers. If Gutekunst plays his cards right, he could turn Wicks into valuable draft picks that could help the team replenish their depth or even target emerging talents in the next draft. It's a calculated risk, but one that could pay off big in the long run, especially as the Packers look ahead to a critical offseason where managing the cap and building for sustained success will be paramount. Now, let's talk a little about the bigger picture. The Packers have been on an interesting trajectory over the last couple of seasons. After a historic run with Aaron Rodgers, they're now under the leadership of Jordan Love, trying to carve out a new identity. Love has shown flashes of brilliance, but consistency has been a work in progress. The team's success in the upcoming weeks could hinge on how well the offense, especially the passing game, continues to develop. Doubs has become a reliable target, and with Watson potentially returning soon, the offense will look even more dynamic. Still, the question remains, can they find that true WR1, that player who elevates the entire offense and makes defenses hesitate? The defense, meanwhile, has been solid but not spectacular. They've shown resilience and playmaking ability, but they'll need to tighten up, especially against high-powered offenses in the playoffs. The special teams have also played a role, but it's the offensive side that remains the key to unlocking the Packers' championship potential. And that's why the trade deadline decisions are so crucial. Gutekunst and Lafleur will need to balance immediate needs with long-term planning, all while aiming to keep the team competitive and cap-friendly. Looking ahead, the offseason will be another chapter of strategic moves. The team will have to decide whether to extend players like Doubs, who has emerged as a centerpiece receiver, or look elsewhere for additional help. But right now, the focus is on how they can use the trade window to their advantage, whether by trading Wicks for draft capital or making other roster adjustments to refine their squad for the postseason. It's a delicate dance, and every move will be scrutinized by fans and analysts alike because, let's face it, the Packers are always in the conversation when it comes to Super Bowl contenders. The question is, will they make the right moves at the right time? As we approach the deadline, keep an eye on the news coming out of Green Bay. The team's front office is known for being shrewd, and they've often made savvy moves that pay dividends down the line. The upcoming weeks will be critical in shaping the remainder of the season and perhaps even the franchise's future. The NFC North is competitive, yes, but with the right adjustments, Green Bay could solidify their position as the top dog and make a real run at another Lombardi trophy. So buckle up, Packers fans, because the next few weeks are going to be intense, filled with strategic decisions, surprises, and hopefully, a team that's ready to leave it all on the field. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news.